And welcome back. As cities across the country face growing deficits, putting jobs and services at risk, Airbnb has released a report analyzing the economic impact of tourism across the United States and its cities. Now, the findings of the report detail that travel on Airbnb generates more than $90 billion in economic activity across the country in 2025 alone. Now, with New York Airbnbs alone generating approximately over $3.7 billion last year. However, New York City legislation has passed short-term rental regulations known as Local Law 18, leading to a loss of $1 billion in revenue with significant increase in housing vacancies. Joining me now to provide further insight on these findings are Medicare benefits specialist consultant Mariana Gonzalez and Director of Policy Strategy at Airbnb North America, Nathan Rotman. And thank you both for joining us. Thank you. And so, for somebody who may not be so familiar with the legislation, let's put it in layman's terms and how this really has an effect on so many people.
Thanks, Daren. It's great to be here. Thanks so much for the invitation today. Local Law 18 passed back in 2021, and basically what it does is asks hosts to get registered with the city of New York. That's completely fine. The problem with what Local Law 18 did that went many steps further than any other city in North America is that it also said that a host may not leave their home when they're hosting a guest, and that the guest that an individual host, operating in the home can't host more than 2 people at a time. So when I have family visiting from Spain, a family of 4 people can't actually find an Airbnb to stay in. They have to stay in a hotel room or 2 when they have 2 kids with them as well. So the law went much, much further than any other law we've seen anywhere else in the United States, anywhere else in Canada. And so, this is a change we're hoping to fix over the next little while, because it's really impacted regular people's ability to share their home and make some extra income. When you think about the Bronx, you think about the Yankees, you think about people coming in for baseball games and for other sports and events. And so we brought guests and travelers to parts of the city where there aren't as many hotels. It's a huge opportunity that's been lost for regular people who used to host during major sporting events and things like that as well. So that's the basics there to start us off.
Yeah. Mariana, I want to ask about the hotel economy because, this regulation has positively impacted the hotel economy in 2025. But when we talk about tourism, that's another conversation.
Tourism, well, as you said, my name is Mariana Gonzalez. I am in the Bronx. I am surrounded by hospitals. I'm on East Chester Road, Pelham Gardens section of the Bronx. And what I mainly host is medical students. I'm nearby the hospitals, so I often get medical students, traveling nurses, and they look for accommodations nearby where they are working. And of course, when then their time off, they go and visit. I have students from Egypt, from Italy, and they come and they want to know where to go. And of course, where I have a little booklet with my listing, and it shows them around. And they often, I know they're consumers in the area, and they definitely are a compliment to it, the local businesses. But when that compares to the hotel industry, I believe is very unfair that everybody is left without a choice and just having to go to a hotel in the city and forget about the other areas of the Bronx of New York that are also valuable and touristic as well.
Yeah, can't forget about the Bronx. You got to say the Bronx. But tell me this here. When we talk about those persons that are coming, you look at this year compared to years past. How does it work out for you? How do you see it?
It's been very tough. I'll get emotional, so I'll try. It's been very tough because Airbnb became the backbone of this home, or my backbone after my divorce. And I've been a host for over 8 years. And when this law came through, it was extremely hard to navigate, and I was denied registration. So I am very limited if a booking conflicts with another where I don't have 30 days in between those bookings, and I have 2 weeks that I can accommodate somebody there, I don't have that option. It has to stay vacant until a block of 30 full days becomes available. So I am at a total loss. It has impacted my finances in a way that it goes beyond words, and it is extremely sad for someone like me that's just someone that was able to purchase their home. Uh, as I'm a single mother since 2012, and it's been very tough for me to be able to sustain this home without that income.
Yeah.
It's
And,
vicious.
and Nathan, when you hear Mariana's story, there's so many other stories that are just similar to Mariana's for people who have really had to endure this. So, what, for you, from your perspective, have you been able to tell people about joining in on the fight and creating some further awareness?
Yeah, thanks, Darren, and thanks, Mariana, for sharing your story. It's so important. When this law passed, what the city council said, and what some of the advocates who were in favor of further regulation of short-term rentals said was this was going to make New York City more affordable. This was going to make it cheaper to find a rental apartment in New York City. What it has done instead is hurt regular people who depended on that extra income to make ends meet. And so it's folks like Mariana and so many hosts that we've seen in all 5 boroughs who told us these stories that they want to see the law opened up a little bit. We're not suggesting at all that people should come in and invest in multiple properties and rent out apartments that could be full-time homes for people. But what we are suggesting, and there's a law that's been introduced by Councilmember Lewis, that would allow regular people to rent out their home when they go away for up to 4 people. So opening up the law a little bit, making this more this very expensive city slightly more affordable by letting people leverage a home that they spent so much time and so much effort to buy in the first place, to be able to make some extra income using that property. In places like the Bronx, Darren, we've seen listings drop from like around 1,000 before the law came into effect to around 70. Very few people are eligible to get licensed, and the regulation, requires like a 10-page application form. It's very complicated for regular people, and we're working closely with the city council. We're very hopeful that we'll be able to see an amendment this year.
Yeah, there are some punitive regulations that really come into effect here too when you talk about this here, and many may not be so familiar. So on the punitive side, if somebody is found, guilty of, what are we talking about by way of punitive regulations?
Well, certainly, I mean, it's hard to get registered in the first place. They won't be able to operate. But then there are a series of fines that a host could face. I know that the Office of Special Enforcement, the regulation body that oversees this industry, has been sending out warning letters for people, to make sure that they're following the law appropriately. The fines can go fairly high for folks now.
Yeah. Mariana, as you look towards the future, how do you stick your head in the sand and keep it moving forward?
I am advocating, providing like awareness, spreading information on what this is about, because a lot of people don't understand what is really going on. They may think this is pro Airbnb when I'm just a homeowner that's trying to keep her home. And it has nothing to me. I mean, I love Airbnb, but it really is. I'm just a single person that's trying to make ends meet. This is not about a whole industry. It's just that I purchased a home and I have available space that can help me make ends meet, pay my taxes, and do everything moving forward. And my home is not a stock for the city. It's my home. The restrictions, I went through the registration process. It was frustrating. It got denied. Although there's nothing illegal about the spaces in this home. And I'm just praying and keeping my faith that the city is going to open the dialogue and understand that I'm not one and two family homeowners are not people that are trying to become millionaires on or make money out of of renting their space. It's just a need. It's a need like anybody else has a need in the city of New York to maintain a roof over their heads. So I'm just hopeful that the city opens up for a dialogue and that they expand and lessen the restrictions on these accommodations.
If
It's
you-
only fair.
Yeah, I mean, if you had the opportunity to talk to city officials, and I know you will have that opportunity, what is it that you would want to convey to them to really to really get your point across? Because I get it. You know, you're saying, listen, I'm just one person, but I'm not out here with multiple properties trying to do something. I'm just an average Joe or average Mariana trying to do what I do, right? And I'm going through it here. But I need you to hear me. So if I'm them, what do you say?
I would say like at least take it on a case by case basis. Like facilitate the process to begin with. That the OSC picks up the phone for when we have questions about the registration process. I don't mind if you want to inspect my home and I don't know and see what my situation is. It's better than like penalizing everybody over something that we have nothing to do with. Like as a single homeowner, I'm not responsible for what's going on in the city of New York. And I really encourage anyone that's in power to make any decisions to hear out homeowners that, like me, are only trying to make ends meet. Take it on a case by case basis and be practical and fair when it comes to this issue. Is very serious because they're obligating us to also be part of the housing crisis.
Yeah.
And being homeless.
Yeah. Nathan, how critical is it to really raise your voice here in this matter, because there's an urgency that's out there. Mariana's speaking to it right now, but how do we deal with this urgency and then also possibly the reevaluation of taking a look at this law?
No, it's a great question, and it's people like Mariana that we're really fighting for. Is regular homeowners being allowed to operate again in New York City? If you think about why this law came into effect, it's the hotel industry wanted to make more money at the expense of regular people. They used the housing crisis, one of the most pressing challenges of our time, as an excuse to raise their rates and charge even more money so they can make even more average rates in hotels across the city. We've seen New York City hotel prices skyrocket since this law came into effect to averages well above the national average. And so we've been working with hosts like Mariana, like so many others, to ensure that they know how to reach their city council members to support Intro 1107, which is a law that's been introduced that we're hopeful we'll see move forward through committee and through the legislative cycle this year, which would allow regular people to operate in their home where they live, would have zero impact on the housing market in New York City because
Sent from the future to save the past, heal the planet and make it last. We find solutions with knowledge slides. Venture forth, echo leaders unite. Echo leaders, echo leaders.
Well, I can share this. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know if the QR code is going to
Yeah, yep, we got it.
visible for everybody. But this explains, is a very short explanation of what the law is right now and what we're trying to obtain, which we failed to mention that one of the restrictions that they put into hosting is besides the 2 guests per stay only, and the renter has to be there, the owner has to be there, we can't even have a lock
Yeah.
in our room, or they can't have a lock in our room, not even the bathroom. That's
Okay.
extremely excessive.
if
Yeah.
you check out homeownersforfinancialempowerment.org, you can find that flyer and much more available on that website.
All righty. Well, Mariana, Nathan, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate having you, and certainly we'll continue to follow this as we move forward.
Thanks, Daren.
Thank you for having us.
All right, thank you. All righty, we encourage you to stay with us as we're taking a quick break. Guess what? We're going to have more coming up right after this.